will start in the goals tonight. Senior goaltender number 30, Jim Monticelli, as the Blue Jackets continue to rotate that starting position. At center ice will be number 19, Steve Terrell. Steve is a senior. He'll be centering number 3, John Schwartz, a senior. And number 18, Pat Sabachnik, also a senior. On defense for the Blue Jackets, it'll be number 10, Mike Hardy, a junior. And number 12, Steve Stavnes, a junior. On the second line for the Blue Jackets at center ice will be number 7, John Rue, a junior. He'll be centering number 6, Andy O'Brien, a junior, and number 8, Paul Girardi, a senior. Defensively for the Blue Jackets, it's number 2, Cal Huseman. Cal is a senior. And number 4, Joe Gosted. Joe is a senior. On the third line for the Blue Jackets at center ice will be number 5, Dan Kasner. Dan is a sophomore. He'll be centering number 16, Tom Sullivan, a junior, and number 17, Doug Terrell. Doug is a sophomore. On defense on that third line for the Blue Jackets is number 9, Brent Long, and number 15, Tom Pascuzzi. Tom is a senior. On the fourth line for the Blue Jackets at center ice is number 11, Mike Sanborn. Mike is a senior. He'll be centering number 13, Chad Walters, a junior, and number 14, Scott Sunball, replacing Pete Wallers. Scott is a junior. The alternate goaltender for the Blue Jackets is number 0, Rich Jacklin. That's the stage for tonight's game. One of the smallest crowds, John, that I've ever seen here at the arena.
Without a doubt, Dick. It is one side to our right is maybe, if you put them all together, probably fill out maybe one section. To our left, there's a big crowd in the middle, but both ends are virtually empty. If you put everybody together, you might fill one side of this arena.
If you take the Hibbing fans out of this arena, you would have very few in the crowd, John. It's a very sparse audience here, and that really is quite a shame. But
it is a small crowd and very quiet. We haven't had much noise out of either side of the rink. Virginia just coming out. Hibbing has been their forte all year, is coming out late and not out yet.
Tonight's only game in town is coming to you over WMFG and broadcasting through Chickenauer. Boy, does that make your eyes just kind of, want to play hide and seek here behind the... but I wouldn't want to be up here.
Yes, I would say I'll take the wire. I would not want it to be free-for-all up here, or no wire.
Okay, we're ready to go. At center ice then is Mike Callister. Will face it off against the Blue Jackets' Steve Terrell. First game 7-3, a victory for the Blue Jackets over the Virginia Blue Devils. And we're at center ice. Goal judge is in place. Very quiet crowd here tonight. Yeah. All right, the puck is dropped. It is controlled by the Blue Jackets. So Stavnes plays it ahead to Terrell, brings it across, feeds over on the left. Schwartz, goal! It took 7 seconds, and the Blue Jackets are on the scoreboard on a goal by John Schwartz after he was fed by Terrell. Terrell winning the faceoff. Got it down across the blue line, fed to Schwartz, who was breaking in from the right. An easy shot on the part of John Schwartz, gets by Paul Mackey, and the Blue Jackets lead it 1-0.
So it didn't take long.
And after that terrific recap, forgot to turn the tape on. Well, way to go, Nordberg.
Well, it was quick. We had one at 21 seconds last night in the college game. They even did that one better at 7 seconds here. Hibbing leading at 1-0.
All right, we're underway. Again, the Schwartz controlling it, loses it as John Buzzy comes up with it. Buzzy plays it into the zone. Monticelli will stop it, sends it over to Hardy, who taps it behind the net. Picked out there by Zabachnik over in the corner on the far side. Gets it back to Hardy. Hardy comes out the right-hand side, picks up a check from Mike Callister, then Schwartz comes up with it. Schwartz takes it behind, coming out the left-hand side, skates into center ice, loses the puck. Now it's cleared back into center ice, and Schwartz comes in from the right. His drive is high. It goes down into the corner as Terrell picks it up. Terrell takes it behind the net. Now tries to center. That play broken up. And the Blue Devils clear it out as Dean Edstrom on the right wing sends it into center ice. Hardy is there on the intercept for the Blue Jackets, playing it back into the Blue Devil zone. Metza sends it back. Then Callister coming in from the left. His drive is wide of the net as a defensive lapse. That time on the part of the Blue Jackets, they were changing on bringing on a new line and gave an opportunity for Callister, but he went wide with his shot. Now the Blue Jackets coming right back down into the Virginia zone. A race for the puck as Girardi goes to the corner on the far side here, trying to get control. There's a scramble for it. Finally, it's whistled dead, and we'll have a face-off to the right. A Blue Devil goaltender, Paul Mackey, with the score here, 1-0. The Blue Jackets out in front, 13:42 remaining.
Schwartz gets that goal, his 7th of the year at 7 seconds. Steve Terrell, Pat Sabatnik given the assist, and there's 13:42 remaining in the first period.
John Rue will face it off against Corey Gerlach. We're to the right of Paul Mackey. Off the face-off. The puck stopped by Mackey is played behind the net. A scramble for it now as Girardi tries to dig it out, sends it behind for O'Brien, who goes to the corner on the left side. He centers out the Gosted shot. A save is made by Mackey. Girardi fanned on the rebound. Now Girardi in the corner. Gets it out to the blue line. Gosted with the backhand goes wide with a shot as Babaraki comes up with it on the right side. Loses it. As O'Brien sends in a backhand shot. A stop is made by Mackey. Now Girardi again tries to feed from the corner. Play broken up. Rue comes up with it. Rue goes behind the net, still controlling it. Now tries to slide it out in front. It's broken up. Gosted goes in after it behind the extended goal line. Scramble for it. Finally, it's whistled dead. We'll have a face-off to the right of the Blue Devil goaltender with the score here, 1-0. The Blue Devils trailing as the Blue Jackets scored in the first 7 seconds of play here in this first period.
Face-off would be to the right of Mackey in the Virginia zone. 13:02 remaining in the period.
Dan Kasner will face it off against Paul Paletti to the right now, the Blue Devil goaltender. Off the face-off, the puck held in, tapped down into the corner now by the Blue Jackets. Going in after it now is Tom Sullivan. Sullivan loses it as the puck is picked off by Stanaway. Stanaway on the right side, tries to clear but not out. Held in, the puck is dumped behind the net as it's picked off now by Metza. Metza gets it back as he throws it out into center ice. A loose puck will be picked up by Stanaway. He's checked off the puck. Kasner comes up with it. He is ridden out of play, but the Blue Jackets drive it down into the Blue Devil zone. As the puck picked off now, Tom Metza over on the right side. On the right wing for Scott Stanaway, who clears out into center ice. A puck down into the Hibbing zone, picked off by Stavnes, who clears it back into center ice. Deflecting it down into the Virginia zone is Dan Kasner. And the puck picked off now by Brian Mackey. Mackey on the right wing for Stanaway. Brings it into center ice, dumps it into the Hibbing zone. The Blue Jackets clear it back as now the puck picked off by Terrell. Terrell to Hardy. Hardy has it knocked away from him, but it's picked up by Terrell, who dumps it into the Blue Devil zone, but an offside is called at the blue line. Will come back out into center ice for the face-off.
And officially we have Mackey with 2 saves. Hibbing yet to record a save. 12:02 remaining, and the score 1-0. Schwartz is 7th of the year at 7 seconds of the first period. So 7th at 7.
12:02 remains here in the first period of play. 1-0. The Blue Jackets out in front and off the face-off. The Blue Devils controlling it as Randy Babaraki clears it into center ice. It's intercepted there as Houston dumps it back into the Virginia zone. A scramble for the puck. As it's picked off now by Terrell. Terrell feeding it out to the point. Loses it as Callister on the intercept. Brings it into center, then drives it into the Hibbing zone on a shot that's saved by Monticelli. The puck is cleared back into center ice now as Terrell has it. Terrell drops it for Zabachnik now to Schwartz. Schwartz has the man up, couldn't get it to him as Zabachnik is breaking, and the shot taken just wide of the net, that time by Cal Huesman, as Mackey had come out to cover up but couldn't get to the puck. Now it's Babaraki on the right side, controlling for the Blue Devils from his own zone. Tries to clear but not out. Zabachnik on the intercept. Taps it down into the corner. Now the puck is picked off by Neil O'Donnell. O'Donnell headmans it on the right side for Dean Edstrom, but a whistle stops action. And let's see, the net had come off the mooring.
Yep. So they'll put the net back in place, and then they will proceed with play with 11:15 remaining. I think they're going to take it out. They will take it outside the blue line because the Hibbing player hit the net and knocked it off the mooring.
1-0 our score. The Blue Jackets out in front. Face off. Controlled by Tom Metza. Metza in center ice sends a left wing pass for Mick Wilby. Wilby overskates, and now a scramble for it as the Blue Jackets Pascuzzi digs it out, then has it tapped away from him back into his own zone. The puck is picked up by Gosted. Gosted trying to clear, loses it as it's intercepted by Gerlach, who dumps it behind the Hibbing net. Scramble for it there as the puck comes loose. Coming out the right side now into center ice for the Blue Jackets. Andy O'Brien into the zone, drops it for Rue. His shot goes wide of the net, but there's been a whistle. And we'll come back out into center ice as Mick Robbie and Girardi exchanging some pleasantries. How's the weather, guys?
10:48 on the clock. Blue Jackets scored quickly, but Mackey's been up to it since that point.
Off the face-off, the puck down into the Virginia zone is picked off by Metzer. Brings it behind his own net, feeds it on the left wing for Roby, who clears into center ice, and a lead for Gerlach. Gerlach can't get to the puck. It's Gosted. Clears it behind the net, then he catches up with it. Comes out the left-hand side, passing ahead for John Rue. Rue brings it into the Virginia zone. Coming in from the right, his drive is broken up, and the puck is cleared over into the corner. Girardi is there for the Blue Jackets. Back out to Rue. Rue centers now for Stavnes, who goes high with his shot. O'Brien tried the center. Fans as the puck goes into the corner. Now John Rue goes in after it. Rue tries to dig it out along with O'Brien. O'Brien fell on top of the puck. The whistle stops action, and we'll have a face-off to the left of Paul Mackey when play continues in 20 seconds. Off the face-off, the puck goes all the way down into the Hibbing zone as it's picked up by Mike Hardy. Hardy brings it behind his own net, feeds it over on the left wing now as the Blue Jackets try to clear. Dan Kasner sends it out into center ice on the intercept. Babaraki drives it right back into Hibbing defensive territory. 1-0, Hibbing out in front. A clearing attempt by the Blue Jackets. Neil O'Donnell holds in, then tries to set up man Brian Corpy open on the right. Corpy slides it out to Babaraki, who goes wide with his shot, and then the Blue Jackets come right back as Doug Terrell dumps it into the Virginia zone, into the corner. Sullivan tries to get control, loses it. Babaraki comes up with a scramble for it now on the near side as Brian Corpy tries to dig it out. The whistle stops action, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Paul Mackey.
Yeah, Mackey with 3 saves, 1 for Monticelli of the Blue Jackets. That goal again, Schwartz is 7th. Steve Terrell and Pat Sabatnik picked up the 5th. The B squad final score again was Hibbing 7, Virginia 3.
All right, to the right of Paul Mackey off the face-off. Brian Mackey goes in after it, trying to clear, but not out. Kasner on the intercept, sends in a shot. Mackey makes a save and covers up it. Brian O'Sullivan was in position there for the rebound, but Mackey wouldn't let him get to it. And the whistle stops action. We'll have another face-off to the right of the Blue Devil goaltender. New blood coming out now for the Jackets as they bring on the Steve Terrell line. Schwartz and Zabachnik up front, along with Terrell. On defense, it is Gosted and Huseman. Off the face-off, puck goes over into the corner. Blue Jackets try to dig it out as Terrell comes up with it. Terrell feeds out for Zabachnik. Play broken up there by the Blue Devils as John Bussey tries to clear but not out. Now Bussey picks it up, brings it behind the extended goal line, has it tapped away from him by Terrell. Terrell tries to center again, and then play broken up as Brian Mackey goes into the net, and whistle stops action. We will come out into center ice for the face-off.
We'll put the net comes off the moorings again, puts him back on, and then they'll take it outside the blue line, face it off with 9:02 remaining, 1-0 to score. Hibbing scoring early at the 7-second mark.
Face-off up near the Virginia blue line in center ice as Terrell will face it off against Mike Callister off the face-off. A scramble for it along the side. Houston loses it, and then it's brought into the Hibbing zone offside by the Blue Devils, so we'll come back out into center ice again for the face-off.
Rather quiet crowd.
Yeah, it really is quiet.
Oh, can't
really
that.
quiet. Off the face-off. The puck is controlled this time by Schwartz. Schwartz plays it ahead in center ice. Tom Metze intercepting, drives it down into Hibbing defensive territory as Cal Huseman comes up with it. Huseman now loses it. Trying to dig it out is John Buzzy. Buzzy put into the boards by Terrell. The puck comes loose, this time to Gosted. Gosted sends it into the corner for Huseman coming up the right side. He sends it over on the left now. Hardy deflects it down into Hibbing defensive territory, Virginia defensive territory. A scramble for it as Zabachnik goes in after it. Now Zabachnik loses it as the Blue Devils Metza comes up with it. Skates right out in front of his own net, loses it, and on the intercept, the shot is taken by Houston, and then Mackey makes the save that had knocked away from him, and then he grabbed onto it once again and held on.
So Schwartz, or Mackey rather, makes his 5th save. Schwartz was trying to get a second goal of the period, but Mackey did a good job of juggling it for a while and finally getting it in his glove to record what we have as his 5th save, with 8:17 now remaining in the period.
John Bussey. And Terrell exchanging some pleasantries as they went to the bench. And now let's see. We have some position changes here. Corey Gerlach will face it out. Now Willie Speltz comes in off the face-off. The puck is controlled by O'Brien. O'Brien now centers out in front. Play broken up there by Babaraki. Now the Blue Jackets. O'Brien behind to Girardi. Puts it into the crease, but Mackey lets that one go over into the far side as Rue comes up with it. Rue tries to center out in front. That play is broken up beautifully by Mike Roby. Now another shot is taken by Rue. That's broken up. Rue goes to the side for the Blue Jackets. Girardi digs it out. Girardi to the backhand. Out in front now sets it. Oh, hitting the pipe is Pascuzzi. O'Brien stands on the rebound. Then the puck over on the side is played up to the blue line as it's held in there by O'Brien. O'Brien now fighting for control along the boards with Speltz. Tries to slide it. Then it's O'Brien setting up a shot. That's broken up. Then Pascuzzi, a kick out by Mackey, and another shot taken by Girardi, and that's broken up. Girardi on the far side now. Skates up near the blue line. Slides it back to Rue on the right side. Now he sets up right in front to O'Brien, who goes wide with his deflection. Puck is played all the way down into Hibbing defensive territory. Icing will be called on the Blue Jackets, and goaltender Paul Mackey goes for the towel.
He has done a yeoman job. Just 6 saves. He's really had a lot of activity. The play has been almost for the period been down at this end. We're about halfway through. 7:15 remaining. We'll face it off now to the right of Paul Mackey. We have for 6 saves. We have Monticelli with 1.
1-0 our score, and off the face-off. The puck controlled over in the corner is picked up along the sides now as Brian Corpy tries to clear, but not out. Houston holds in. A shot taken by Doug Terrell. A stop made by Mackey. Going wide on the rebound is Sullivan, who now clears over into the corner. The puck picked up there by Terrell. Played out to Stavnis from the right point. His drive. A bad save by Mackey. Now scramble for the puck. Held in by Houston. Houston again centers, but Tom Metz is there to clear it back out into center ice for Scott Stanaway. The Blue Jackets intercepting, bring it right back in as Terrell in the corner on this side. Overskates the puck. Metz goes in after it, tries to freeze it against the board, but he's all alone there, so he starts down ice. He's backed up by Scott Stanaway. Stanaway loses the puck. Kasner digs it out. Now from the right, his drive. The save is made by Mackey. Then he comes out of the crease to cover up as the Blue Jacket Sullivan was in position but couldn't get off the shot.
Well, Hibbing buzzing all over, but Mackey with 9 saves now.
Well, Mackey had lost his stick as he has to go behind the net to get control.
And they're going to take the puck out of the Virginia area, face it up outside the blue line.
6:29 remains here in the first period of play. 1-0. The Blue Jackets out in front, and the face-off in center ice as Mike Callister will face it off now against Steve Terrell. Face-off near the Virginia blue line. 6:29 remains, and off the face-off. The puck controlled by Zavachnik, played back to Pascuzzi, who tries to pass to Terrell and does. Terrell brings it in, then it's tapped back into center ice. Gosted is there as he brings it across for the Blue Jackets. Has it knocked away from him by John Buzzy, who clears out into center ice for Callister. Callister has checked out a play. The Blue Jackets get it back as Pascuzzi. Sends it over on the left wing now for Zabachnik. Zabachnik bobbles it, then plays it into the zone, but Terrell offside draws the whistle and will come back out into center ice for the face-off.
6:04 left in the clock. Face-off at the blue line. And what do we have? I thought we had maybe a little ice problem. We do not. We'll face it off right outside the Virginia blue line now with Mackey with 9 saves and Monticelli with 1.
Off the face-off, it's Gosted controlling it, dumping it down into the Virginia zone. Metza gives chase, picks it up, wraps it around the corner on the left side for John Buzzy, who clears but not out. Gosted holding in over on the right side is checked out a play by Metza, but Terrell comes up with it. Terrell has the puck tapped away from him. Schwartz goes after it. Metza comes up with it, though, for the Blue Devils, driving it down into Hibbing territory. Monticelli all the way out of the net, clears it over on the side now. Sullivan clears up into center ice, and the Blue Jackets come down. It's Terrell. Terrell again tries to feed for Schwartz. Play broken up by Metza. Metza sends it back into center ice, and then Callister tries to deflect it into the Hibbing zone. It deflects behind the net. Puck picked up now by Pascuzzi. Pascuzzi coming up on the left side, drives it down into Virginia territory. As going in after it is Metza. O'Brien in the corner has it for the Blue Jackets. Checked off the puck by Speltz. Now it's Hardy controlling. Hardy, a shot from the blue line, way out. gets the goal, and the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 2-0. Hardy from way out deep. I don't believe that was deflected. Looked clean from the blue line.
9:50 the time of the goal, and I agree with you, Dick. I don't think it was tipped. I just think that Mackey was screened and didn't see it. And so at 9:50, the Blue Jackets pick up their second goal of the game and lead it now 2-0.
So Mike Hardy credited with the goal. 5:07 remaining, 2-0. The Blue Jackets out in front, and off the face-off. The puck is controlled now by John Rue. Brought into center ice. Rue breaking down across the blue line, sends a lead pass for O'Brien. O'Brien back for Rue. The play broken up out in front by Babaraki. Babaraki clears into the corner. Neil O'Donnell sends it behind the net. Now going in after it is Girardi. Girardi from behind the net for the Blue Jackets tries to get it back to O'Brien. A scramble for the puck now as O'Donnell ties it up, and we'll have a face-off to the right of the Virginia goaltender.
Getting the assist for the Blue Jackets, Andy O'Brien. So Hardy gets the goal. O'Brien will get the assist. And it's 2-0.
Paul Mackey has had his work cut out for him.
Hardy, his first goal of the year.
All right, John Rue will face it off to the right of Paul Mackey, and on the face-off, the puck controlled by Brian Mackey as he clears it ahead now for Scott Stanley. Stanley in center ice loses it as Hardy comes up with it, dumping it back, and then Metz on the intercept for the Blue Devils, takes it into center, driving it down into Hibbing defensive territory. Puck is picked up now. Rue tries to clear, but not out as it's held in by Metza. Metza again over at left point. His drive. Monticelli tried to make the save and couldn't. A goal for the Blue Devils by Tom Metza from left point at 4:17. Pulls the Blue Devils within one. It's 2-1.
10:43 the time of the goal, and it looked like it was going to make an easy stop. It got behind him. And it's 2-1, just like that at 10:43. The Blue Devils get a goal. I believe it'll be Metza, number 18, getting the goal.
Off the face-off, the puck is controlled by Joel Gossett. Played on the right wing now for Doug Terrell. Terrell sends it down into Virginia defensive territory as Terrell comes up with it. Terrell now tries to deflect. The puck is picked up. Kasner to the backhand, goes wide with his shot. Now Sullivan over on the right side. Out to Houston at left point. Houston's drive is stopped by Mackey. Puck picked up behind now by Doug Terrell. Terrell tries to center out in front. Metz is there to intercept. Now a scramble for it as a puck finally picked up by Scott Stanaway. Played ahead to Brian Mackey. Mackey has it knocked off his stick. Then Brian Corpy throws it out into center ice. The puck goes down into Hibbing defensive territory, but Joel Gosted comes up with it. Gosted now brings the puck back into center ice for the Blue Jackets. Into the Virginia zone, tries to split the defense, loses the puck, picking it up goes Doug Terrell. His shot, a rebound shot, and a goal by Zabachnik. After the initial shot by Terrell was stopped by the Blue Devil goaltender, Paul Mackey. He tapped it right out in front, and the Blue Jackets have scored again. It is 3-1.
11:38 the time of this goal. The other goal by Virginia, Paletti, getting it at 10:43. Getting the assist in the Virginia goal was Metza and Mackey, so it was tipped.
For the Blue Jackets. Back up in front, 3-1, and we're back to action here as Monticelli comes out, tries to make a save, does so, and then decides to hang on as he had several Blue Devils breaking in on him.
So for Pat Zabachnik, that would be goal number 6 on the year.
And we're going to have to get the official scoring on that, but it looked like Zabachnik...
Paletti got the Virginia goal at 10:43, Brian Mackey and Metza assisting, and then Hibbing, I believe, Zabachnik at 11:38.
All right, off the face-off. The puck is controlled by the Blue Devils. Going wide as Neil O'Donnell with his shot feeds it out to Babaraki at right point, slides it along the boards, and then centering from the side is Mike Callister. Goes out to the blue line. Puck is held in by Randy Babaraki. Babaraki plays it down on the right side now for Dean Edstrom. Edstrom again tries to center out in front. Babaraki will hold at right point. Loses it though as the Blue Jackets come up with it, clearing it out into center ice. Now it's Randy Babaraki passing for Mike Callister. Callister sends it into the Blue Devil zone, trying to hit Dean Edstrom. Edstrom loses it though as the Blue Jackets come right back into center ice. Blue Jackets drive it down into Virginia territory. Mackey will stop it behind as The Blue Devils come up with it. Heading down ice now is Randy Babaraki. Babaraki to Mike Roby. Roby over to Callister. Callister sends it rink wide for Willie Speltz, who was breaking in, but he couldn't get to the puck. Now it's Girardi controlling for the Blue Jackets. Sends it to Terrell into center ice. Terrell goes to the bench as the Blue Jackets bring on a new unit. And now Huseman with a nice shot from the side, but a skate deflection by Paul Mackey. Girardi comes up with it. Girardi right out in front. John Rule hits the upper post. Now the puck is picked up over on the right side by Mick Roby. Roby into center, drives it down into Hibbing defensive territory. 3-1. The Jackets out in front. Huseman sends it over on the right side now. Is heading down ice. John Rue into center ice. It's Andy O'Brien on the right wing. O'Brien into the Virginia zone to Rue. Rue goes wide with his shot. Held in. Huseman now dumps it into corner on the right side as it goes out to right point. Stavnes is there. He lines up his drive. A pad save is made. Rue sets up Girardi out in front. Girardi couldn't get off the shot. Huseman from the right. His drive broken up in traffic. Now Rue is spun around. Girardi goes after the puck. Dumping it down into the corner. John Rue will go in after it. He's put into the boards. O'Brien is fed from behind and turns in a shot that goes to the side of the net. The puck comes loose in the crease and then is picked up by Willie Speltz. Speltz brings it into center ice for the Blue Devils. Headmans it now as the Blue Devils head in. Corey Gerlach loses the puck. It's cleared back out into center ice. Now Metza brings it across again. Metza to the backhand. Sends it down into the corner. Stavnes is there to clear it back, and then it's Terrell with a breakaway. Terrell coming in all around. The shot and a goal by Doug Terrell as he was fed in center ice. Picked up the puck, came in all alone, and the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 4-1 and a goal by Doug Terrell.
13:09, the time of the goal. 13:09. Terrell. Doug Terrell picked up the assist on Zabotnik's goal at 11:38. Now he gets a goal here at 13:09.
51 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. The Blue Jackets out in front by a score of 4-1, and on the face-off, the puck is controlled now by Pascuzzi, who's ridden out of play. Loose puck up by the blue line in Hibbing defensive territory. One of the Blue Devils falls on top of it.
Terrell's seventh goal of the year at 13:09 makes it 4-1 now, and we're down to 41 seconds.
Stavnes gets the assist on that goal. 4-1 our score, 41 seconds remaining. Face-off in Hibbing defensive territory up near the blue line. And off the face-off, the puck is controlled by Huseman. Momentarily loses it, now going to the backhand, sending in a shot just wide as John Buzzy, and then Monticelli got a piece of that one after he was fed by Dean Edstrom. Now again a shot. This one, Edstrom again fans on an opportunity. He was in the slot to the right. Couldn't get out the good shot as Huseman now tries to clear but not out. Metza will hold in. He's checked off the puck. Now a scramble for it. It's whistle dead. We'll have a face-off in Hibbing defensive territory up near the blue line. 15 seconds remaining here. 4-1. Blue Jackets out in front of Virginia.
15 seconds left in the period.
Puck high into the air is controlled now by the Blue Jackets. Terrell as he dumps it down into Virginia territory. Metza clears it back in center ice. Gosted has it knocked away from him. John Buzzy coming in. Now centers out. Couldn't get it to McAllister, who is open. Now McAllister goes in after it. And that's it. That's the end of the first period of play with the score. The Hibbing Blue Jackets 4, the Virginia Blue Devils 1.
We're back here at the arena taking a look at the scoring in this first period. The Blue Jackets jumped out rather fast at 7 seconds of the first period. John Schwartz picks up his 7th goal of the year. Steve Terrell, Pat Zabotnik assisting Schwartz at 7 seconds. And that was how quickly the game started. And then at 9:50, it was Hardy, his first of the year. O'Brien assisting, and Hibbing led 2-0.
Deflected into the Hibbing zone. It deflects behind the net. Puck picked up now by Pascuzzi. Pascuzzi coming up on the left side, drives it down into Virginia territory. As going in after it is Metza. O'Brien in the corner has it for the Blue Jackets. Checked off the puck by Speltz. Now it's Hardy controlling. Hardy, a shot from the blue line, way out. It's the goal, and the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 2-0. Hardy from way out deep. I don't believe that was deflected. Looked clean from the blue line.
So Hardy gets that goal, and it was 2-0. Then at 10:43, Virginia gets their goal. Paul Paletti picks up a goal at 10:43. Brian Mackey and Metza assisting. Virginia cut the lead to 2-1.
Up for the Blue Devils, takes it into center, driving it down into Hibbing defensive territory. Puck is picked up now. Rue tries to clear, but not out as it's held in by Metza. Metza get over at left point. His drive. Monticelli tried to make the save and couldn't. The goal for the Blue Devils by Tom Metza from left point at 4:17. As the Blue Devils within one, it's 2-1.
Then Zabotnik came and gave Hibbing that goal back at 11:38. Zabotnik is 6th goal of the year. Doug Terrell assisting. That's Zabotnik at 11:38.
Gosted comes up with it. Gosted now brings the puck back into center ice for the Blue Jackets. Into the Virginia zone, tries to split the defense, loses the puck, picking it up goes Doug Terrell. His shot, a rebound shot, the goal by Zabotnik. After the initial shot by Terrell was stopped by the Blue Devil goaltender, Paul Mackey. He tapped it right out in front, and the Blue Jackets have scored again. It is 3-1.
Then Steve Stavnes fed Doug Terrell. Doug got behind the defense, went in all alone on goaltender Mackey, and picked up his 7th goal of the year at 13:09. Stavnes assisting.
By Willie Stout. Stout brings it into center ice for the Blue Devils. Headmans it now as the Blue Devils head in. Corey Gerlach loses the puck. It's cleared back out into center ice. Now Metza brings it across again. Metza to the backhand. Sends it down into the corner. Stavnes is there to clear it back, and then it's Terrell with a breakaway. Terrell coming in all around. The shot and a goal by Doug Terrell as he was fed in center ice. Picked up the puck, came in all alone, and the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 4-1 and a goal by Doug Terrell.
And that concludes the scoring. Schwartz is 7th. Hardy is 1st. Zabotnik is 6th, and Doug Terrell is 7th for Hibbing. Coletti picking up goal for Virginia, and it's 4-1. No penalties in that first period. As far as saves were concerned, Paul Mackey of the Virginia Blue Devils had 14, and for Jim Monticelli of the Hibbing Blue Jackets, he was credited with 4 saves. So 14 for Mackey, 4 for Monticelli, and Hibbing leads it by a score of 4-1. So, yeah, you're right, Dick. There were 14 saves, and a couple hit the pipe. He was a very busy goaltender in that first period. For Jim Monticelli, one got by him. He had 5 shots. He stopped 4 of them. And the score stands 4-1. I believe Hibbing is a little bit physically stronger than this Virginia club. And I think it showed a little bit in that first period.
All right, we're ready to go with the second period of play.
The Blue Jackets, of course, 2 more conference games with international fouls on Friday night at the arena, and then another home game. In fact, the rest of the season will be all home for Hibbing as they play international fouls Friday night, and then Aurora Hard Lakes Monday in a makeup. And then on the 14th, they'll end their season against Superior.
Well, a rarity, John. In a Hibbing, Virginia game, we went a period without a penalty.
Yeah, it just was really whizzed by, too.
But it really did?
It really did.
It was a really fast period, folks.
It really was.
Really was out there, too. 4-1 is our score. We're ready to get underway.
B-Squad score again with 7-3, Hibbing winning.
All right, the officials tonight's game, Greg Gilmas, the linesman, with John Bymark and Bob Talk.
Never saw that thrown out on starting the period. So
okay, we're underway, and the puck is controlled by the Blue Jackets. Schwartz sends in a drive. Mackey made a save on that one, and a drive by Schwartz. He almost started the period as he did the first one. Another shot by Schwartz, and again a save by Paul Mackey as the Blue Jackets try to get to the puck. It's picked off now by Mike Callister. Callister brings it into center ice now for the Blue Devils. Headman's is broken up by Terrell. Terrell comes back into the Virginia zone, loses the puck as Tom Metza clears it back into center ice for Callister. Callister loses it, and again the Blue Jackets dump it into the Virginia zone. Dean Edstrom comes up with it behind his own net, loses it to Terrell. Terrell in the corner, tried to set up Schwartz in the slot to the right, couldn't get it to him. Now the puck again comes loose, and it's taken by Dean Edstrom behind the net as he drops it there for Tom Metza. Metza comes down into center ice now for the Blue Devils. Sends it over on the left wing as he headmans it now for Mick Robbie. into the corner. Puck is played out right out in front. Callister to the backhand, loses it as Monticelli scoops it over into the corner. Now Stavnes tries to get control as Paul Paletti tries to dig it out. Puck is played out to Metza. Metza from the blue line. Girardi stops that one with the body, then clears it out into center ice. And let's see who comes up with the puck. It's picked off by Brian Mackey. Both teams are at first, and where did that penalty come from?
Must have been called at the end of the period.
No, it couldn't have been, because in a minute and a half remaining. Now it's Girardi breaking on in. Shot and a goal by Girardi as it got underneath the stick of Paul Mackey. And the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 5-1.
1:30. It had to be called in the first period, I guess. I didn't see anybody go in. I didn't see a penalty call. We'll have to check on that. Hibbing scoring at 1:30 of this second period to make it 5-1, but boy, you got me on that. I was surprised anyone when they said full strength. So at 13:30 or 1:30 into the period, Hibbing scores to make it 5-1.
Okay, we're ready to go, and off the face-off again. It goes into the Virginia zone, and the play is stopped as
13:25 now left in the clock.
Paul Mackey covering up on that shot. Well, we'll try to get the officials going. We missed that one completely. Off the face-off now. Puck is controlled by John Rue. Rue goes wide with his shot as it's picked up over on the far side by Willie Speltz. Speltz coming out of his own, clears in the center ice and down into Hibbing defensive territory. We're going to have icing calls against the Blue Jackets. Well, we made a comment. We hadn't had a penalty. But Girardi is going to get that goal, and getting the assist will be Steve Terrell.
Yeah. They don't know if there's another assist on that. We'll have to wait and see.
5-1, the Blue Jackets out in front. 13:08 remaining in the second period of play. Face-off coming to the right of Paul Mackey. Off the face-off, the puck is controlled by the Blue Jackets. A shot taken by Doug Terrell. He's checked out a play by Metza, and the glove save is made by Paul Mackey. Action this time is way down in the far end of the ring.
Girardi is 11th at 1:30. Steve Terrell assisting.
All right, off the face-off, the puck is controlled by the Blue Devils as Paletti brings it into center ice. Now taps it down into Hibbing defensive territory. Pascuzzi clears into the corner, and the scramble for it now behind the extended goal line as Hardy comes up with it. He tries to clear, but not out. Brian Mackey from right point sends in a shot that's broken up. Now Terrell will clear into center ice and down into Virginia defensive territory, and icing will be called against the Blue Jackets.
So Hibbing leading it now 5-1, and there is 12:39 remaining. We'll bring it back and face it off in the Hibbing zone, as everything now, as Dick said, at the far end of the rink. And we're still trying to figure out that penalty. I
got by us completely. We must have been sleeping in the switch on that one.
Where we were on that one.
All right, off the face-off, the puck goes all the way down into Virginia defensive territory. As the puck picked off now, Sullivan tries to send in a shot. That's broken up by the Virginia defense, and they come back into center ice. Now it's Neil O'Donnell into the Hibbing zone. O'Donnell sends in a shot that goes behind the net. Buzzy picks it up over on the left side. Buzzy winds up. His drive is broken up by Terrell. Hardy will clear it back to Terrell, who goes into center ice. Doug Girard passes to Kasner. Kasner's drive, a deflection by Mackey, goes to the corner on the right side as Terrell has checked out a play. Kasner will come up with it. Kasner now into the corner, has checked off the puck, as trying to get to it is Sahari up to the point. A drive by Stavnes, a save is made by Paul Mackey, and then he falls on top of the puck.
Okay, it was called on Tom Pascuzzi for tripping in the first period, with 41 seconds remaining in the period.
Well, I remember the stoppage of play at 41, but I didn't see the penalty call.
So there was a penalty in the first period. We apologize, folks.
All right, off the face-off. Stavnes a blast from the blue line. A stop is made by Mackey, but I believe there was an infraction on the face-off, and let's see. They're going to go to the left of Paul Mackey for another face-off. 11:54 remaining in the period, and on the face-off. Going after it, Metza comes up with a puck. as he checked Chad Walters out of play. Now Virginia holds in the zone, now goes out into center ice. Virginia will have to regroup. The Blue Jackets come up with it as Kyle Huseman. There's the red, now it's picked off by Stavnes. Stavnes dumps it back into the Virginia zone as Metza comes up with it. Metza takes it behind his own net, tries to clear, but not out as Walters holds in, feeds to the Blue Jacket Sunball out to the point. Stavnes' drive is broken up as it hits the body of Corey Gerlach. Gerlach comes up with the puck now, out into center ice, into the Hibbing zone. Gerlach taps it into the corner, deflects behind the net. Over on the right side now, Dosted is there to play it ahead for Sunball. Sunball on the left wing, drives it down into Virginia defensive territory. The loose puck picked up by Neil O'Donnell. 5-1, the Blue Jackets out in front as O'Donnell, stick handling in center ice, drives it into the zone. Monticelli makes the stick save, and then Pascuzzi clears it behind. Pascuzzi trying to get to it now for the Blue Jackets. Ridden out the puck. Dosted comes up with it for the Blue Jackets, sends it on the right wing for Schwartz. Schwartz avoids a check, brings it into his own, sends in a shot, and a save is made by Mackey. The puck goes behind, and then it's picked off by the Blue Devils as they clear it out into center ice. Huseman intercepts it and loses it to O'Donnell, and O'Donnell's drive from center ice is stopped by Monticelli. Now the puck behind the net. Picked up Pascuzzi, tries to clear it to Terrell. Terrell headmans it now for Schwartz. Schwartz couldn't clear it out as it's held in by Metza, played behind the net. A scramble for it over on the right side as Schwartz taps it back into the corner. Paul Paletti goes in after it. Paletti scramble for it now, still in the hitting zone. Paletti takes it behind, goes to the corner on the right side, out to right point. A pass to Babaraki is broken up. Paletti comes up with it again, gets it back out to Babaraki, then Monticelli deflects it over into the corner. Now a scramble for it by Brian Coffey, trying to get control, loses it. The Blue Jackets. Schwartz comes up with it. Schwartz in the center ice. Headmans it on the left for Zabachnik. Zabachnik back to Schwartz. Schwartz pass is broken up by Scott Stanaway. Stanaway tries to clear, but not out. Houston dumps it into the corner. Then behind the extended goal line, there's a battle for control. As finally it's kicked by Babaraki behind the net and picked off there by Mike Callister. Callister still behind his own net. Now comes out the left-hand side. Tries to clear, but not out. It's intercepted by Girardi up at left point. He taps it down into the corner. Tom Metza is in after it now. Girardi also trying to get control. It's frozen against the boards, and we'll have a face-off to the right of the Blue Devil goaltender when played. 9:18 remaining, and off the face-off. The puck controlled by Girardi as he tries to stuff it around the corner from behind. Now center's out in front. A scramble for it. The puck comes loose to Rue. Rue over on the left side. Now again centers. No one is home. There's a puck picked up by Metza. Metza drives it all the way down into Hibbing defensive territory. Monticelli will have to clear it into the corner. As a puck picked up now, Callister goes after it. Over on the left side, sends it out to the point for Metza. Metza tried to play it back along the boards for John Bussey, but the puck is cleared out into center ice. Bussey again drives it into Hibbing defensive territory. As Andy O'Brien Hardy goes in after it. Hardy comes up with it. A loose puck right out in front of the net. Dosted will clear, then picks it up again and goes to the far side as he clears it out into center ice. The Blue Devils intercept momentarily, then Girardi gets it back. Girardi has it tapped away from him as the Blue Devils come right back in. A shot is taken. Monticelli with the save. Loose puck in front of the net. A scramble for it now, and finally it's Monticelli on top of it as Brian Mackey couldn't connect.
Well, Virginia, Dick, getting a lot more shots on goal here in this period. They've already got 5. Monticelli's already recorded 5 saves. We've only got 1 for Mackey with 8:22 remaining, but the Blue Jackets have the only goal of the period. Girardi is 11th at 1:30 with Steve Terrell assisting.
All right, Dan Kasner will face it off for the Blue Jackets. He'll face it off against Corey Gerlach. 5-1 our score. Blue Jackets out in front, 8:22 remaining here in the period. And off the face-off, a blast from out in front. A save is made by Monticelli after Neil O'Donnell sent one in from the blue line. Now it's Houston into the Virginia zone. He's checked out a play. Puck goes over into the corner. Dan Kasner trying to dig it out is put into the boards. Neil O'Donnell gets control for the Blue Devils, playing it behind the net. It'll go over into the corner. Sullivan going in after it, slides it out to Stavnes. Stavnes' pass is broken up, brought out into center ice, and now the Blue Devils come down. A drive this wide of the net by Willie Speltz is picked off by Terrell over on the right side. Held in the zone by O'Donnell. O'Donnell now couldn't do anything with it, and Kasner will clear it out in the center ice as a puck picked up by Speltz. Speltz has ridden off the puck, and the Blue Devils' Paul Paletti brings it back into the Hibbing zone, tapping it behind the net, is picked off by Huseman. Huseman on the right side. Clears it ahead for Terrell. Then Huseman again brings it into center ice. Tries to get it over to Terrell. Play is broken up. The Blue Jackets Stavnes bobbles it in his own zone for the Jackets. Now stick handling from his own zone. Loses his footing. It's tapped into the corner. Paletti comes up. It's Paletti takes it behind the net. Now it's put out to the blue line. A drive from there by Babrak. He goes wide of the net. And the Blue Jackets Hardy on the right side is put into the boards there. Is getting control of Stanaway. Stanaway plays it out to Metza. Metza's drive is broken up by Kasner and cleared out into center ice. Terrell going in after it. Overskates it. The Blue Devils come up with it. As Stanaway brings it in. Goes to the back end. Centers out in front. A shot is taken. Hitting the pipe is Brian Corpy. Now Paletti goes into the corner. Hardy tries to get control for the Blue Jackets as they just are taking the Blue Devils lightly here in this period. Metza from the left point. His drive is broken up by Hardy. Hardy clears out into center ice for Kasner. Kasner can't get to it, and then Brian Mackey drives it right back into Hibbing defensive territory as Hardy comes up with it for the Blue Jackets. Coming out the left side. Oh, a shot directly on Monticelli on a bad pass. Callister almost got by Blue Jackets. Monticelli is a puck now brought out into center ice by Stunball. Stunball is ridden out of play, and then the puck is brought in offside by John Buzzy.
Well, that time, Dick, Jim Monticelli had to make a big save on a bad pass right out in front of his own net. He seems to also be laboring, Dick, whether he got hurt in the shoulder or someplace. He seems to be laboring a little bit here as they took a shot earlier in the period. There's 6:22 remaining, Hibbing leading 5-1, and a face-off outside the Hibbing blue line.
All right, Terrell off the face-off. This is Steve Terrell to Pascuzzi. Pascuzzi sends it into center ice, and the Blue Devils are there as Callister brings it across once again. He's ridden out of play, and Huseman will take it into center ice before he's checked. Now it's Terrell over to Schwartz. Schwartz from the right side, a kick out by Paul Mackey goes to the corner. As the Blue Jackets now, Schwartz tries to dig it out. It's picked off by the Blue Devils as Brian Mackey on the right side drives it all the way down into Hibbing defensive territory. Monticelli will have to make the save. Puts it onto the stick of Pascuzzi. Pascuzzi and Callister trying to dig it out now. Finally, it goes out to Brian Mackey. A bad pass out to the point goes all the way down into Virginia defensive territory, and Brian Mackey is checked out of play. As the Blue Jackets come up with it now, Terrell right out in front, sent in a shot, is broken up, and a scramble for it as Brian Mackey goes to the corner. There's it out into center ice now as going after it is Gene Edstrom. Edstrom is ridden out of play, and a whistle stops action here. We have an offside at the blue line.
I believe we got a penalty.
We do. Terrell is going into the penalty box, and it is a hooking penalty against Terrell.
So at 9:31, the time of the penalty.
Hooking is the call against Terrell.
Which one? Did you see this?
Yeah, it is 19, Steve Terrell. Drew will face off for the Blue Jackets, and so the Blue Devils with the power play. Jackets leading it here 5-1, 5:26 remaining here in the period. Metza on the face-off, takes it behind his own net, drops it there. Is coming out the right-hand side now is Stanaway. Stanaway down into the zone. Now it is Brian Mackey. Mackey over on the right side centers, but nobody is home. The puck is picked up. Metza's drive is broken up out in front by Hardy and cleared up to the point. Brian Mackey again, a shot. Oh, a deflection out in front. Monticelli couldn't get to it, but it just went wide. Now Brian Mackey, a shot, and a goal, a deflection out in front. I believe getting a piece of it was Paul Paletti, but a power play goal for the Virginia Blue Devils, and it's 5-2.
10:02, the time of the goal. A power play goal by Virginia, and I think it was a little bit deflected. It went by Monticelli, and now it's 5-2 on a goal by the Blue Devils at 10:02 of the period.
Here will be
I think they're going to give it to Brian Mackey. We'll check it.
Brian Mackey will get the goal. It could have been tipped by any number right out in front.
We will check it.
4:54 remaining. 5-2. A 3-goal lead here for the Blue Jackets, but Virginia definitely has come on strong in this second period of play.
Mackey's going to get it all alone.
Okay, it wasn't tipped then. Mackey setting it up from the blue line.
And a power play.
From our vantage point, it appeared that it may have been tipped, but they say no, it was a clean shot from the blue line, so Brian Mackey picks up the goal. 4:54 remains here.
Now there seems to be, an equipment problem down with Mackey?
Paul Mackey has made the adjustment. 5-2 our score. Blue Jackets leading it here by 3 goals off the faceoff. The puck is controlled by Terrell. Terrell drives it down into the Virginia zone. A scramble for it along the side as Terrell comes up with it. Centers for Sullivan. Sullivan couldn't get a stick down. Out to the point now. It's Huseman. Huseman's drive is cleared back into center ice. Race for the puck now is coming up with it will be the Blue Jackets. Pascuzzi takes it behind his own net. Comes out on the right side. It's Terrell to Huseman. Huseman headmans it now for Sullivan on the left wing. His drive goes wide of the net. Doug Terrell goes on the right side now, trying to get control. Loses the puck. Kasner digs it out for the Blue Jackets. Drops it for Terrell. Terrell's drive. A stop is made by Mackey. Now again, it's Terrell taking it behind the Virginia net. Out to the blue line. A drive there by Huseman is just high. Pascuzzi will hold in the zone from the right side. Tries to center. Is broken out by the Blue Devils and brought out into center ice now by Neil O'Donnell, who tapped it into Hibbing defensive territory. Monticelli clears to the corner on the right as Huseman comes up the left side now for the Blue Jackets. Trying to clear. Does so into center ice. Sliding it ahead for Terrell, who's checked out a play at the blue line. John Buzzy overskates it in the corner on the left side. Buzzy again picks it up. Now sends it on the right side, clearing it out into center ice is Babaraki, dumping it into the Hibbing zone. It's cleared back by Gostedt. Then again, the Blue Devils take control as O'Donnell sends it into the zone. Callister comes up with it, centers right out in front. Just out of position was John Buzzy, and the Blue Devils almost scoring there. From the point, Metza makes the save. Now the puck is picked off by Blue Jackets. With it is Schwartz. Schwartz feeds it over to Zadoknik. Zadoknik coming down ice. Takes it down across the blue line. Drops it for Schwartz. Schwartz sends in the shot. Then Buzzy fields it behind the net for the Blue Devils. Sends it over on the left side as Callister comes up with it. Callister works the boards, then coming on in, trying to catch up with the puck is Dean Edstrom, but whistle stops action, and we'll have a face-off out in Virginia defensive territory. Icing is called against the Blue Devils.
They changed the goal, the power play goal by Virginia, and now it's Paul Paletti getting the goal. Ryan Mackey getting the assist.
Well, that's the way we called it. We called it as a tip by Paletti, but
so Paletti gets the power play goal. Mackey gets the assist at 10:02. It's 5-2 with 3:04 remaining in the second period.
Off the face-off, a shot is taken by O'Brien. O'Brien feeds over to Girardi. Girardi couldn't get off the shot as he takes it behind. It's out to Huseman at right point. Slides it back for Girardi. Tapped into the corner now. It is Huseman, the Blue Jackets, O'Brien trying to get control. A scramble for it now as the puck comes loose. Finally, the puck is picked off by Corey Gerlach. Played behind the Virginia net. A scramble for it again as again the Blue Devils now break into center ice. With it is Corey Gerlach sending a shot into Hibbing defensive territory. Monticelli makes the save. Hardy clears it over on the left side for Girardi. Girardi now to O'Brien. O'Brien on the right side can't keep up with the puck and is taken by Tom Metza. Metza is ridden off the puck. The Blue Jackets pick it up in their own zone. It's Hardy bringing it back into center ice. Hardy controlling for the Blue Jackets to John Rue on the left. Rue's shot is wide of the net as the puck picked up by Paletti over on the right side as he goes behind the net. Now coming out again the right side. It is Paletti clearing it out into center ice and down into Hibbing defensive territory. And with 2 minutes remaining, both teams looking a little bit tired at this point. We'll go back down into Virginia defensive territory for the face-off.
1:59 remaining in the period, and only 2 goals. Girardi for Hibbing at 1:30 the period. Steve Terrell assisting. And then the power play goal for Virginia, Paletti getting the goal. Brian Mackey assisting at 10:02. That's been the scoring in the second period with 1:59 remaining.
5-2 our score. The face-off coming to the right now. Paul Mackey. And off the face-off. The puck down into the corner is picked off by the Blue Jackets. Terrell on the corner on the right side. Sends it out to right point for Pascuzzi, is checked off the puck, and the Blue Devils play it into center ice. Sullivan is there to drive it right back into the Virginia zone. Over on the right side. The puck is controlled by the Blue Devils as they clear the length of the arena. And again, we're going to have icing called on the Blue Jackets. 1:38 remaining here.
Well, the Blue Devils will take it back to the Blue Devils zone and face it off with 1:38 left in the period. 5-2 the score.
Face-off coming to the left of Paul Mackey. He has taken the time out here to make an equipment adjustment. He's been blistered, there's no doubt about it. Not quite as much in the second period as he was in the first.
We have him for 4 saves. We have Monticelli with 8. I think Hibbing got up quickly, Dick, 5-1 and kind of went to sleep. And since that time, Virginia's kind of taken it to him a little bit.
Face-off is takes place to the left of Paul Mackey, and off the face-off. The puck, Metza controlling it in the corner, tries to send it behind the net for Brian Mackey. Over on the right side now, scramble for it. The puck comes loose to Callister, who clears out into center ice on the right wing for Dean Edstrom. Edstrom brings down across the blue line now. John Bussey sends in a shot that's broken up by Pascuzzi. Now Bussey centers out in front, and standing on a shot that time is Dean Edstrom. Kasner comes right back. Kasner to Terrell, played into the zone. Now going after it is Gosted. Gosted tries to center out in front. Rigged into the corner by Brian Mackey. Now Callister goes in after it. Kasner tries to dig it out. Puck comes loose to Pascuzzi. Pascuzzi from right point plays it behind the net for Terrell. Terrell is spun around, and the Blue Devils come up with it. As they head down ice, they try to clear, but not out, as the puck is held in by the Blue Jackets' Steve Terrell. Now held in by Pascuzzi. The puck is finally cleared again by the Blue Devils all the way down into Hibbing defensive territory. As Pascuzzi goes in after it, icing will be called against the Blue Devils, and with 39 seconds remaining, we'll have a face-off to the left of Paul Mackey.
Well, tomorrow night there'll be community college hockey action as the Cardinals try to clinch the Minnesota Community College Conference title, regular season title, with a victory over Mesabi at the arena. And then Friday night, high school hockey from the arena with International Falls. Saturday, it's high school basketball from Lincoln Junior High, as Hibbing will be playing Virginia.
Right off the face-off. The puck is controlled by Blue Devils. With it over on the right side now is Corey Gerlach. Gerlach sends it into center ice. 26 seconds remaining. Now it's brought back down across by Zabotnik, who sends in a shot. That's broken up in front and then cleared out into center ice. Puck all the way down into Hibbing defensive territory. It's picked off now by Hardy. Hardy sends it rink wide for Blue Jackets of Aknica. Loses it. Loose puck in front of the net. Cleared out of there by Terrell, and then down into the corner. A scramble for it as Mike Robbie tries to come up with it. Robbie has it knocked away from him. Stodness tries to clear, but not out, and at the buzzer, Stokes goes wide with his shot. And that's it. That's the end of the second period of play with the score. The Blue Jackets 5, the Blue Devils 2.
We're back at the arena, and we've smelt white gas. We know now why, as they have got a exhibition going on here. Let's take a look at the scoring in that period. Only 2 goals. The first goal coming with 1:30 remaining in the period. Girardi picked up his 11th goal of the year. Steve Terrell assists, Hibbing leading at 5-1.
Hey, that penalty
must have been called at the end of the period.
No, it couldn't have been, because there's a minute and a half remaining. Now it's Girardi breaking on in. Shot and a goal by Girardi as it got underneath the stick of Paul Mackey. And the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 5-1.
Well, that penalty we're referring to was called on Pascuzzi at the end of the first period at 13:19, and he came out at 1:19. Hibbing scored at 1:30. Then Virginia got a power play goal when Steve Terrell went in, and Paletti picked up a goal at 10:02. Brian Mackey assists, and it's 5-2.
Centers, but nobody is home. The puck is picked up. Metzger's drive is broken up out in front by Hardy and cleared up to the point. Brian Mackey again a shot. Oh! A deflection out in front. Monticelli couldn't get to it, but it just went wide. Now Brian Mackey a shot. The ball and deflection out in front. I believe getting a piece of it was Paul Paletti, but a power play goal for the Virginia Blue Devils, and it's 5-2.
So that's the scoring in the first and the second period. We had Girardi is 11th at 1:30, and Paletti at 10:02, a power play goal. And it stands 5-2 now, Hibbing leading Virginia after 2. In that second period, though, Virginia had the better of the shots as they outshot Hibbing 12-7. Paul Mackey getting 6 saves in that first period, 6 saves in that second period, to go with his 14 for a 2-period total of 20. For Jim Monticelli, he had 4 saves in the first period, he had 11 in the second, and he had a 2-period total of 15. We had Mackey of Virginia with 4, they gave him 6, and we had Monticelli with 8, they gave him 11. So 20 saves for Mackey of Virginia after 2, and 15 for Monticelli of the Blue Jackets.
This is The Blue Jackets wrestlers are in an evening contest tonight in a dual meet with the Aiken, are in Aiken for a dual wrestling meet. In other hockey games tonight, Chisholm Cook is at International Falls in a 4-point contest. Greenway is at Grand Rapids, and the Babbitt are on conference game with the Everett Golden Bears. That game at the Hippodrome. Here, our score 5-2. The Blue Jackets out in front of the Blue Devils, and neither team has made any move to come out to the ice, although the ice has been resurfaced, and they're sending the buzzer back to the dressing rooms again to let them know they're ready to go. And so the waiting game goes here. Blue Jackets' next opponent will be on Friday night here on the only game in town when the Blue Jackets and the International Falls Broncos will meet at Hibbing Memorial Arena. Didn't hear what they're doing.
I think it's some kind of flip the pot or something, I guess. I don't know. It's calling out a number or something.
Okay. Here come the Blue Jackets. You mentioned they'll be going. After that, and that's an on-conference game, as they'll entertain the Superior Senior Spartans at Hibbing Memorial Arena. And then, of course, a bit of a break, and then the Iron Range Conference Hockey Playdown will commence. And from that point on, then, it is one game away from the elimination for any of the teams involved onto the state tournament, which culminates in St. Paul City Center. And that tournament will be held on March 6th, 7th, and 8th this year, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at St. Paul City Center. And that, of course, is what now I believe John, every team in the state of Minnesota that is involved in the hockey program is looking at that.
Well, without a doubt, Rick, it's the second season. It really truly is. Every year we see some of the top-rated teams in the state not make it down there. Blue Jackets self-sustained that several years ago, and it happens every year. It's a great spectacle to be in, and for some of these teams are trying to make it for the second and third years of their career.
All right, 5-2 our score. 2-goal lead here for the Blue Jackets as they will be defending the east goal here in this final period of play. The Virginia goaltender, Paul Mackey, is right below our microphone. We've been pointing out our broadcast position here is up over the goaltender, just a little bit to his left. It is a very difficult vantage point to do a hockey game, especially when the action is taking place down in the far end of the ring. But it's a little bit difficult to determine whether it's a 6 or an 8.
They're continuing to change scoring. Now on the first Virginia goal, Paletti got the goal, but take an assist away from Brian Mackey and give it to Scott Stanley.
Now, was that on the first goal or the second goal?
The first Virginia goal.
Okay, all right. Because Paletti got the second goal also.
Yeah, now I got to check that.
5-2 our score here as both teams now complete their huddle and will face off in center ice.
It's on the first.
Terrell will face it off now for the Blue Jackets. Steve Terrell facing it off against the Virginia Blue Devils. Mike Callister, as this period of hockey is ready to get underway. Puck is dropped and it is controlled by the Blue Jackets as they dump it down into the hitting zone. The puck is stopped just behind the net by Mackey. Mackey feeds it then over on the right side as Edstrom comes out into center ice. He's tripped up out of play. There'll be no penalty. And then checks from behind as Steve Terrell and the Blue Jackets play the puck down into the Virginia zone. There's going to be a penalty coming up against the Blue Devils as soon as they tap the puck. Brian Mackey does, and he'll be the one going in. Mackey will go in for checking from behind as he looks skyward. Bob Cox says, yep, you're the one.
25 seconds of the third period, the time of the penalty, and that's the first penalty on Virginia this evening.
Hibbing has only had 2 penalties in this game. 5-2, the Jackets out in front, 14:35 remaining tonight's only game in town. Coming to you over WMFG, WGGR studios in Hibbing. Face off to the right of the Jackets, or the Blue Devil goaltender. Rue will face it off against Mike Callister. The Jackets will work the power play. Off the face-off, puck down and behind the net. It's picked off now by Girardi to the corner on the right side. Girardi now sends it out to the blue line. Gossett back to Girardi. Girardi again to the right side. Now it tries to weave through traffic out in front. Sends it wide for Rue. Rue couldn't get to it, and Callister will clear it out of play.
So it goes up into the players' area and out of play, stops the clock with 14:16 remaining in the period. Of course, here in Virginia, the penalty clocks were put above the press box, so the press either reads them through a mirror or does not see them.
Right now, it looks like 1:11 remaining on the 1:41 remaining on the power play, John. One of the plexiglass came loose, and so they're trying to get that back into position. They do have it into position. And we're ready to go. Face-off coming in Virginia territory up near the blue line off the face-off. The puck again put out of play. This time a backhander by Randy Babarek. He almost took the teeth of Terry Cohen out. He finally caught it. Two little duckies on that one. Coaches are taking quite a chance when they're in their coaching boxes there. No protection. Off the face-off. The puck is controlled by the Blue Jackets. Schwartz sends it out to Terrell. They'll have to regroup the Blue Jackets as they went out into center ice. Now it's Girardi back into the zone for Gossett. Gossett has it knocked away. Callister picking it up. Now coming in all alone. Callister the backhand. A shot to goal by Callister. Short-handed goal by the Blue Devils. 5-3. A nice play by Mike Callister. As he picks up the loose puck, came in from the right, getting behind the hitting defense. Then a beautiful backhand shot by Callister, gets by Monticelli. It's 5-3.
So Callister gets a short-handed goal, and like that, Virginia back in it. As Hibbing should have put it away early, they did not, and now they've got a fight in their hands. A short-handed goal by Callister at 1:06.
Callister gets it all alone. So the Blue Jackets give up a short-handed goal. 5-3. Up down into the Virginia, the Hibbing zone. A stop made by Monticelli as Girardi goes in after it. Girardi now is checked out of play. The Blue Jackets try to get control behind the net. It's whistled dead, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Paul Mackey. To the right of Monticelli, excuse me.
Hibbing was cruising along at one point in the second period. A minute 30 into it, a 5-1 lead. It's now 5-3. They got a game on their hands with 13:43 to go, and a short-handed goal by Virginia's Callister pulls it that close.
All right, off the face-off. Girardi controlling it, sends it behind now for the Blue Jackets. Gossett. Rue comes out the left side. Blue Jackets still with the power play. Have a minute remaining on it as Rue dumps it down into the zone. Steve Terrell goes to the corner on the left side, sending it up along the boards for Rue. Rue is checked out of play by Callister. Gossett comes up in it, leads it over for Girardi. The pass goes behind Girardi. Blue Jackets literally are being all hustled in the second and third. Now the third period of play as Callister comes down one-on-one. Callister's goal! Shot is just wide of the net as Babaraki holds it in, dumps it down into the corners. The puck is picked up now. Callister has knocked off the puck. John Rue comes into center ice for the Blue Jackets. Down into the zone now. Rue over on the right side. Tries to set things up. Metza intercepts and comes back into center ice, cutting down 2-on-1. Metza now to the backhand is checked out of play. There'll be a penalty coming up against the Blue Jackets. Here comes the penalty, and with 12:49 remaining, things will even up as going to the penalty box will be the Blue Jackets. And let's see, heading in will be the Jackets, John Schwartz, I believe, going in. Yep, it is John Schwartz, and in 14 seconds, the Blue Devils will have the power play. They're making a game of it here.
Hooking by Schwartz at 2:11, so they have got the Blue Jackets have got to pull out of this. They got up 5-1, and then they look like they just quit skating and quit playing the game. And Now it's 5-3 with 12:49 remaining in the third period.
All right, face-off coming to the left of Monticelli, and off the face-off. The puck is controlled by Hardy, cleared out into center ice. Metza is there. Metza passes badly to line mate Stanaway, who has to go back into his own zone, takes it behind his own net, feeds it over on the left side as he headmans it now for Brian Corpy. Virginia's at full strength. Now Corpy is checked out of play as Doug Terrell tries to get the puck. The Blue Devils drive it down into the zone, and there'll be an offside at the blue line. We'll come back out into center ice for the face-off with 12:27 remaining here in the game. 5-3. The Blue Jackets out in front of the Blue Devils.
So now the Blue Devils on a power play.
Off the face-off, the puck is controlled by the Blue Jackets. Andy O'Brien played ahead in center ice. Metza picks it up in his own zone, feeds it ahead for Stanaway. Stanaway stick handling in center ice, loses it. O'Brien brings it back into the Virginia zone, avoids the check, sends in a shot that Mackey will clear into the corner. Now a scramble for it in the corner. Over on the left side is finally blown dead and will have a face-off to the right of Paul Mackey. 12:07 remains in the game. 5-3. The Blue Jackets up by 2. Face-off will take place to the right of Mackey, and the Blue Jackets still with a man in the penalty box. And I can't read the time here, but Blue Jackets still have
a good minute,
considerable amount of time to kill here on the power play. Virginia playing as the power player as Callister faces off against Drew. Girardi a shot and deflection by Paul Mackey as he got a pad on that one, and the puck is picked off now by John Buzzy. Buzzy clears it out in the center ice, headmanning it down to Callister. Callister brings it across along the blue line, is ridden out of play. The Blue Jackets will clear it back into center ice. In center ice, Mackey comes up with it. Brian Mackey feeds ahead to Callister at the blue line. Over on the left side, Buzzy shot. Monticelli gets a pad on that one, deflecting it up and over the net. As a puck picked off now by John Rue. Rue clears it rink wide. And the length of the arena is Girardi will pick it up for the Blue Jackets. He is skated out of play, and going right back is Tom Metza. Metza into center ice for the Blue Devils, drops it for Callister along the boards on the left side. He goes to the corner, feeds it out to Brian Mackey to Metza at the blue line. He winds up his drive, is knocked out of there. Beautiful save made by Monticelli. As the puck picked off now, Girardi clears at the length. Going after it, John Rue. Rue picks it up behind the extended goal line. Is checked out of play there. A scramble for it as Brian Mackey comes up with it. Mackey comes out the right side. 5-3. Hibbing out in front. But the power play hockey now for the Virginia Blue Devils as Brian Mackey is checked out of play by Steve Terrell. Huseman goes after it for the Blue Jackets. Huseman comes up with it. Plays it ahead now for Terrell, who brings it into center ice, and both teams are full strength. Terrell across, tries to stick to the bench, gets off the shot, a nice saving man. Rebound shot, and a goal by John Schwartz on the rebound as he picked up the loose puck about 15 feet right out in front of Paul Mackey just as the Blue Jackets came full strength. And the Jackets are back out in front by 3 at 6-3 at 10:42 remaining.
4:18, the time of that goal by the Jackets to put them back up by 3. As the Blue Jackets just came full strength at 4:11.
So John Schwartz picks up his second goal of the evening, 6-3. The Blue Jackets out in front. Terrell controlling off the face-off. His drive is deflected just wide by Mackey. Is now picked up by Zabachnik. Zabachnik taps it out for Houston, who can't get to it, and the puck is cleared into center ice by the Blue Devils. Now Neil O'Donnell loses it as the puck goes back into Hibbing defensive territory. O'Donnell comes up with it. O'Donnell on the right side has it knocked away from him behind the extended goal line as it's tapped loose by Zabachnik. Zabachnik tries to feed out to Houston. Houston, his shot is broken up out in front, and then the puck is picked up by Babaraki. Babaraki brings it behind, comes out the right-hand side now, loses it, then right out in front. Terrell on the interceptor checked out of play, and the puck down into Virginia defensive territory. Going in after it now. Blue Jackets again try to get control. As into the zone is Houston. Houston is checked out of play, and the Blue Devils have it now as Scott Stanaway takes it behind his own net. Comes out the left-hand side. Has Brian Mackey breaking with him. Clears it ahead for Willie Spelt. Play is broken up by the Blue Jackets. Goss had a whistle, and we're going to have a slashing penalty coming up against Grosstedt as he goes to the bench with Virginia now into the hitting zone. As a puck picked off by Huseman, and a whistle. And going in for the Blue Jackets will be Gosted for slashing.
5:30, the time of the penalty.
6-3. Blue Jackets out in front. 9:30 remaining.
Slashing on Gosted at 5:30.
Well, I don't know what Joe is arguing about, because if there was a slash, that was it. He took a whack at Palais.
So 5:30, the time of the penalty. Gosted in for slashing puts Virginia back on the power play. It's the fourth penalty tonight on the Blue Jackets. Virginia called for one.
All right, now some pushing and shoving going on as Terrell and John Buzzy are whistled down. There'll be no penalties coming out of that one. Play getting just a little bit rough
Steve
here.
Terrell with 3 assists on the 6 goals.
9:30 remaining here, 6-3. The Blue Jackets up by 3, and off the face-off, a blast by Brian Mackey. A stick save is made by Monticelli as he clears to the corner. Callister comes up with it, taking it behind the net. Power play hockey here for the Blue Devils as Callister tries to set up John Bussey. It's knocked away from him, cleared over into the corner. Pascuzzi tries to clear, but not out. Now the Blue Jackets, Dan Kasner over on the boards on the left side. Has it knocked away from him. A penalty coming up against the Blue Jackets. As this time from the side, a shot is taken, and nice save is made by Monticelli on a shot by Dean Edstrom. But now Steve Terrell will head into the penalty box. So the Blue Jackets have Joe Gossett and, not Steve Terrell, but Doug Terrell, into the penalty box.
5:57 on this penalty.
Well, the Blue Jackets leading it here 6-3 now have given up a 2-man advantage, and with 9:03 remaining, cross-checking is going to be the call against Doug Terrell.
So Hibbing was the man in at 5:30. Gosted now 27 seconds later. Doug Terrell goes in for cross-checking, so a 2-man advantage for Virginia.
All right, off the face-off, the Blue Jackets controlling it. Houston clears at the length of the arena, and the puck will be stopped by Paul Mackey. Mackey runs it behind the net. Was picked off by Tom Metza. Metza comes out the right side now, cuts out into center ice, feeds it over for Callister. Callister is ridden out of play at the blue line by Houston. The official goes down. Houston tries to clear, but not out. Callister controlling to Pauletti. Pauletti along the boards loses it. Picked off by Callister. Callister sends it up to the blue line. A bad pass for Metza goes all the way back into the Virginia zone, and Brian Mackey clears it back for Callister. 2-man advantage for Virginia. Down across the blue line now, Callister sends it behind the extended goal line, tries to catch up with the puck, and does. Goes to the corner on the left side, then feeds it out to Brian Mackey at left point. Back to Callister. Callister's drive is wide of the net. Comes off the boards. Pauletti goes behind, tries to feed it back out to Brian Mackey, but the Blue Jackets get just a piece of it as Houston clears it out into center ice. Now it's Metza again controlling. Passes ahead for Callister, loses the puck. Blue Jackets are there. Stavnes hits. Rue coming in from the side. His drive is wide of the net as the puck will be held in by Houston. Houston's drive broken up by Callister, and the Virginia Blue Devils now begin their move back down ice. It's Callister in the center ice for the Blue Devils. Cuts to the left. Plays it ahead now. Still with a 2-man advantage here. Girardi will take it behind the Hibbing net. Comes out the right-hand side. Gets by 2 men. Girardi turns on the afterburner. He's in the center ice. Girardi down across the blue line now from the right. His drive. The save is made by Mackey. Then he'll hang on, and some more pushing and shoving going on.
Gosted comes out.
So Letty goes to the bench. Let's see. Hibbing has 1 man on now.
And they have about 27 seconds left on the other penalty. For 27 seconds, they'll be full strength.
26 seconds now.
All right. Pretty close for estimating. I can't
Not
see
too
it.
bad. We can
can't see
have
it
a
at all.
spotter here that can give us the clock. Off the face-off, it's Brian Corpy driving it down into Hibbing defensive territory. There'll be no icing as the Blue Jackets. Pascuzzi comes up with it. He lobs it all the way down into the Virginia zone and giving chase now. Coming up with it is Babaraki. Babaraki avoids a check behind. Then the puck is picked off over on the left side now. Is out into the center ice is Corey Gurlock. Gurlock loses it as Schwartz comes up with it. Schwartz tries to clear, but not out. Now it goes in the center. Both teams are at full strength, so the Blue Jackets have skated off a 2-man penalty. And with 6-3, the Jackets leading it. Virginia takes control now from their own zone. Heading down ice, it's Neil O'Donnell clearing it into center. Mike Hardy is there to take it for the Blue Jackets. In center ice, he drops it for Steve Terrell. Terrell into the zone, gets by 1 man, then has it tapped away from him as it's cleared over along the boards. Doug Terrell is there. Terrell passes up along the boards. Callister takes it for the Blue Devils. He's heading down ice, bringing it into center ice. Over on the right side, Callister avoids a check along the boards and loses the puck as he's checked away by Doug Terrell. Terrell comes right back. The puck is played out into center ice, intercepted there by Brian Mackey. Mackey drives it back into Hibbing defensive territory. Callister gives chase along with Pascuzzi for the Blue Jackets. Now going in after it is John Bussey. Finally, it's whistled dead, and with 6:14 remaining, we'll have a face-off to the right of Jim Monticelli.
6 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the third period. 6-3 now the score, and we have some conversation out on the ice. Both teams at full strength. Hibbing with that two-man short situation got through it okay, and both teams now at full strength. We'll face it off in the Hibbing zone as Virginia, since it became 5-1, Dick, I think, has really just out-hustled Hibbing.
All right, Paletti will face it off for the Blue Devils. As heading to the bench now is John Bussey off the face-off. Brian Mackey from the blue line. The shot is broken up, and then a rebound shot is taken on an easy save made by Monticelli. Scott Stanaway sent in a backhand shot from the slot on the right side.
Monticelli with 5 saves. We have Mackey with 4, and another face-off in the Hibbing zone.
6:09 remaining. We're to the right of Jim Monticelli is Blue Devils using Paul Paletti. He has 2 goals here tonight. Off the face-off, the puck is controlled. A shot is made, and a save is made by Monticelli. The puck comes loose after a scramble out in front, and the Blue Jackets. Terrell drives it down into Virginia defensive territory. Whistle's going to stop action here. Icing is called against the Blue Jackets, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Jim Monticelli.
Hardy's post-game show will follow tonight's game. We'll review the scoring and other parts of the contest.
Tomorrow night, John will be Mike's side. Hibbing Memorial Arena is the Masada Norsemen and the Cardinals lead in college hockey.
Cardinals going for clinching of the conference crown. They can win tomorrow night.
Blue Jackets 5 minutes and 57 seconds away from clinching the Iron Range Conference Hockey Championship. Off the face-off, it is Houston. Houston to Blue Jackets. Sullivan sends in a shot and a rebound shot through the crease, and there's a scramble going on here as Metzer and Sullivan battle. They're quickly brought under control, and let's see, they're going to dish out a penalty on Sullivan, are they?
Well, Wichita went after him. I would think it would have to be on both of them.
I would think it would have to be. Both of them. Send them both in, and you'll keep things even. Send one in, and you're in trouble. And they're going to choose to put Metzer in and Sullivan in. And I applaud officials that take that kind of step, John.
9:14, the time of the, I think for roughing probably. Metzer for Virginia and Sullivan for Hibbing. I think it'll be roughing. Yeah, roughing on both.
So Metzer goes in and Sullivan goes in. 5:46 remains here in the game. 6-3. The Blue Jackets out in front, and now both teams will skate a man short.
So for not having a lot of penalties, all of a sudden 1-2.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a double minor going up on
Sullivan
and who? On Metzer. Double minor on Metzer, on Sullivan.
Okay.
So off the face-off now. The Blue Jackets controlling. Let's send in a shot. Brian Mackey is there to clear it back out into center ice, and he's ridden off the puck by Girardi. Girardi into the Hibbing zone. Comes back into center ice. Girardi down across the blue line. Feeds it over the wheel. Goes wide with a shot, but there was an offside. They'll come back out into center ice for the face-off.
So at the end of Sullivan's penalty, then Hibbing will pick up a power play. With 5.5 minutes remaining.
Face-off in center ice as Corey Gulak controlling, loses it as Mike Hardy for the Blue Jackets. Takes it across. It's third back into center ice. Stavness is there to feed it over now to Girardi. Backhands it down into the Virginia zone. Paul Mackey clears it just to the side of the net. Now the loose puck is picked off by Girardi out in front. He's checked out of play as the Devils. Brian Mackey brings it into the Hibbing zone. Mackey now sends in a shot. A save is made by Monticelli. He hangs on, and let's see. We'll have a face-off to the right of Jim Monticelli.
5:05 left on the clock. 6-3 the score. And
minute 19 remaining on the penalty to Sullivan. 3:19 remaining on the penalty now to the Blue Devils' Tom Metza. Off the face-off. Puck is controlled by Steve Terrell. Terrell drives it into the Virginia zone. Mackey out of the net, clears it over to the corner. Terrell is there, is checked off to his stick by Scott Stanaway, and now will be picked up by Babaraki over on the right side. He tries to clear, but not out. Held in. Zabachnik now coming in from the side. His drive is cleared behind. Houston tries to get control. Now Zabachnik has it. Throws it out in front. Now from blue line. Pascusi from the blue line. 7-3, the Blue Jackets score. 4:38 remaining. Pascusi was fed from behind all the way out to the blue line. Put it in from there, and the Jackets are now ahead by 4.
10:22, the time of the penalty, and that was not a power play goal. Both teams were skating short-handed. So Hibbing scores to make it 7-3 now with 4:38 left in the contest.
Face off in center ice. Let's see, we have a minute. We have 25 seconds remaining on the penalty to the Blue Jackets. Sullivan. 2:25 remaining on the double minor to Metza. So the Jackets lead it here 7-3, and on it a face-off. The puck is controlled. Nodding down into the zone now. It is Neil O'Donnell. O'Donnell plays it out into center ice as Kasner has it. Kasner drives it back into the Virginia zone. Is going in after it now. Puck is picked off on the right side by Brian Mackey. Mackey is ridden off the play. Now Kasner goes in, and he checks O'Brien out of play. From behind the net, now a scramble for it. A whistle stops action, and let's see. We'll have a face-off to the right of Paul Mackey.
Steve Terrell picking up another assist. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 assists tonight. Also picking up assists was Pat Zabotnik. Pat's got 2 assists tonight. And Pascusi got the goal.
Well, let's see.
Pascusi's 3rd of the year.
Face-off coming to the right of Paul Mackey. Hibbing about ready to come on full strength. Rue on the face-off. Plays it along the board. Now catches up with it. Sends it out to the point, but it's intercepted there and cleared by Dean Edstrom. Blue Jackets intercept it, and Terrell will drive it right back into the Virginia zone. A scramble for it behind as Edstrom comes up with it. He's checked out of play by Gosted. Now the loose puck there taken by Callister. Callister into the Hibbing zone. Has it knocked away from him as the Blue Jackets. Schwartz has it, plays it ahead now. Gossett down across the blue line. Schwartz, a nice shot and a great save made by Paul Mackey. Now Schwartz is checked off the puck as Babaraki comes up with it. Babaraki takes it behind the extended goal line. A whistle stops action. We'll have a face-off to the right of the Virginia goaltenders. The Blue Jackets are full strength, and a minute 50 remaining now on that penalty to Tom Metza.
So the Blue Jackets on the power play, leading at 7-3. Pascusi got the goal at 10:22. Steve Terrell and Zabotnik assisting. 4 assists tonight for Steve Terrell. Doug Terrell is a goal and an assist.
All right, off the face-off. The Blue Jackets with the power play. Terrell sends it to Schwartz, to Rue in the corner. Rue on the left side. Back out now to Terrell at the blue line. Gets it back on the left side. To Rue, to Schwartz behind. Schwartz sends it over on the left side now for Girardi. Gets it right back, then from behind. Schwartz goes to the right of the net and comes back left to Girardi. Girardi now on the right side. Sets up Terrell out in front. Terrell couldn't get off the shot. Now Schwartz sends it down into the corner. Girardi goes in after it there. Scramble for it. Schwartz comes up with it. Now Girardi. Girardi behind the net. Goes over onto the right side. Still controlling it. Now sets up Terrell to Rue found just an inch opening and got it there. And the Blue Jackets score a power play goal. It's 8-3. Rue coming up with the goal for the Blue Jackets at 2:58.
12:02, the time of the goal. Power play goal as John Rue will pick it up. And for Rue, that is goal number 17 on the year.
I don't believe there's a more precision goal scorer than John Rue. If he has an opening, he'll find it, and he did that time. He got it by Paul Mackey.
Rue is 17th at 12:02, a power play goal. And Hibbing leads it now 8-3.
2:57 remaining off the face-off. The puck is controlled by the Blue Jackets. Is bringing it across now is Mike Sanborn, but a whistle and an offside is called at the blue line. .52 remains here, 8-3. The Blue Devils trailing here by 5. As the Blue Jackets are about ready to pick up their 15th victory of the season. Puck is played down into the Virginia zone as it's picked off now over on the left side by Neil O'Donnell. O'Donnell has checked out of play. Sanborn going in after it. Now the puck comes loose. It's picked off by Sanborn. Sanborn's backhand shot is broken up, cleared over along the boards. Callister will come up with it. Callister takes it behind. Now comes out the left-hand side. Passes ahead for Buzzy. Buzzy can't clear it, but O'Donnell does. Into center ice. Houston intercepts for the Blue Jackets. Puck is played back in by Sanborn. It will be picked up now by Babaraki, who takes it behind. Babaraki is checked out of play by Sullivan. As the puck picked up now over on the right-hand side by Dean Edstrom. Edstrom behind his own net, having a little difficulty with it. There's a scramble for it now, and finally whistle dead. We'll have a face-off to the right of Mackey, and we have some pushing and shoving going on underneath our microphone and to the right.
2:03 remaining. Steve Terrell tonight with 5 assists. And having a great night here. 5 assists for senior Steve Terrell for the Blue Jackets.
Face-off will take place to the right of the the Blue Devil goaltender. 8-3 our score here, a 5-goal lead as John Rue will face it off now against Paul Paletti to the right of Mackey. Off the face-off, the puck is controlled by Brian Mackey. Mackey tries to clear that out, and then a shot is taken. Paul Mackey with the save, scoops it on in, as not able to connect from the blue line was Steve Stavnis.
Stops the clock with just a minute 55 remaining. Hibbing will be 11-0 in the conference and 24 points, and will clinch its 6th consecutive Iron Range Conference hockey title.
John Rue on the face-off to Girardi, getting a pad on that. A shoulder pad deflection was Paul Mackey, and the puck right up to the point. Rue is fed by Hardy. Couldn't get off the shot as it went off of his stick over along the side. Is played behind the net. Metza comes up with it, sends it out, held in by Stavnis. Stavnis' drive is broken up by Metza. Metza clears it ahead for Paletti. Paletti into the Hibbing zone now. Gets it back from Metza. Long pass. Metza goes to the corner. He tries to center, but play broken up there by Stavnis. A minute 27 remaining. Now as the Blue Jackets, Hardy throws it up to the point. It's held in by Brian Mackey. Mackey sends in a shot that goes over into the corner. Metz at left point. His drive is broken up in front, and the Blue Jackets, Girardi, clears at the lane. Puck goes into the Virginia zone now as Metza comes up with it over to Brian Mackey. Mackey feeds on the left wing to Stanaway. Stanaway's drive is out of the arena, bounces back in, but the whistle blows. We'll have a face-off out in center ice. So we're down to the last minute of play, 1:04 remaining here. Hibbing has clinched the Iron Range Conference hockey title here this evening at Miners Memorial as the exits begin to fill.
1:04 left in the game.
Face off. The smallest crowd the Blue Jackets have played to this year. Off the face-off, the puck is controlled by Brent Lonson. Lonson now leads it over on the right side, is heading down ice. Chad Walters tries to clear, but not out. Puck is held in by O'Donnell. O'Donnell plays it behind the Virginia net as it's picked off now by Pascuzzi. Pascuzzi over on the left for the Blue Jackets. Chad Walters, the sun ball, and a whistle stops action here. Let's see, we have a penalty coming up against the Blue Devils, and heading in will be Corey Gerlach. And he'll go in for cross-checking.
13-21.
39 seconds remain. 8-3. 5-goal lead here for the Blue Jackets. They'll end up tonight with 24 points. Off the face-off, the puck is controlled by the Blue Devils as they head down ice, down across the blue line. Breaking in now is Buzzy. Buzzy couldn't get off the shot as Houston cleared it just to the side. Kasner will take control. Kasner behind the net is checked out of play as Doug Terrell comes up with it. 25 seconds remaining. Corral into center ice now for the Blue Jackets, down across the blue line, has a puck tapped away from him as it's picked off by Callister. Callister clears out into center ice. The Blue Jackets will regroup as Kasner now controlling it. Feeds it back to Terrell, who dumps it into the Virginia zone. 9 seconds remaining. Now Brian Mackey plays it up along the point. Houston's drive is wide. Puck goes over along the boards with 2 seconds remaining. Kasner has it for the Blue Jackets, and that's it. The game is over. The Blue Jackets have won it by a score of 8-3, clinching the Iron Range Conference Hockey Championship, and so pick up victory number 15 on the season, and now 15-2 overall. And in the Iron Range Conference are 11-0-0, while the Virginia Blue Devils are 3-13-1 overall, 2-9-1 in the conference. So the final score then, the Hibbing Blue Jackets defeating the Virginia Blue Devils by a score of 8-3. We'll recap the game when the Hardy
back in Virginia. Let's take a look now at the scoring. The scoring got underway at the 7-second mark of the first period when John Schwartz picks up his 7th goal of the year. Steve Terrell, the first of 5 assists tonight, Subotnick assisting, and the Blue Jackets led it by a score of 1-0. And then at 9:50 of the first period, Hardy picks up his first goal of the year. O'Brien gets the assist. The Blue Jackets lead it 2-0.
Pascuzzi coming up on the left side, drives it down into Virginia territory. But going in after it is Metzo. O'Brien in the corner has it for the Blue Jackets. Checked off the puck by Stout. Now it's Hardy controlling. Hardy is shot from the blue line way out. It's the goal, and the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 2-0. Hardy from way out deep. I don't believe that was deflected.
Right. And it was 2-0 at that point. But at 10:43, less than a minute later, Paletti picks up a goal to cut the lead to 2-1. Stanaway and Metza assisting.
But bumping it back, and then Metza on the intercept for the Blue Devils, takes it into center, driving it down into Hibbing defensive territory. Puck is picked up now. Rue tries to clear, but not out as it's held in by Metza. Metza again over at left point. His drive. Monticelli tried to make the save and couldn't. The goal for the Blue Devils by Tom Metza from left point at 4:17. Holds the Blue Devils within one. It's 2-1.
The Rue Paletti tipped it, and it became 2-1. The Blue Jackets, though, got that goal back at 11:38 when Subotnick picks up his 6th goal of the year. Doug Terrell assisting. Subotnick at 11:38.
It's into the Virginia zone, tries to split the defense, loses the puck, picking it up goes Doug Terrell. His shot, a rebound shot, the goal by Subotnick. After the initial shot by Terrell was stopped by the Blue Devil goaltender Paul Mackey. He tapped it right out in front, and the Blue Jackets have scored again. It is 3-1.
And then Steve Stavnis fed Doug Terrell. Doug Terrell got behind the defense and went in all alone on Paul Mackey, and Doug Terrell picking up his 7th goal of the year at 13:09. Stavnis assisted.
For the Blue Devils, headman's it now as the Blue Devils head in. Corey Gerlach loses the puck. It's cleared back out in the center ice. Now Metza brings it across again. Metza to the backhand. Sends it down into the corner. Stavnis is there to clear it back, and then it's Terrell with a breakaway. Terrell coming in all around. The shot and a goal by Doug Terrell as he was fed in center ice. Picks up the puck, came in all alone, and the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 4-1 and a goal by Doug Terrell.
And that's the way the first period ended. Hibbing went into the locker room leading 4-1. In the second period, there were only 2 goals, one by each team. Hibbing got the first one at 1:30 of the period when Girardi picks up his 11th goal of the year. Steve Terrell assists.
He stops that one with the body, then clears it out into center ice. And let's see who comes up with the puck. It's picked off by Brian Mackey. Both teams are at first, and the death penalty.
Must have been called at the end of the period.
No, it couldn't have been, because there's a minute and a half remaining. Now it's Girardi breaking on in. Shot and a goal by Girardi as it got underneath the stick of Paul Mackey. And the Blue Jackets lead it here by a score of 5-1.
So it became 5-1, but at that point it seemed like the Blue Jackets sagged a little bit. Virginia came on, and Virginia got the next 2 goals. In the second period, at 10:02, a power play goal by Paletti, his 2nd tonight. Brian Mackey got the assist. Paletti, a power play goal at 10:02.
A deflection out in front. Monticelli couldn't get to it, but it just went wide. Now Brian Mackey shot the ball, and deflection out in front. I believe getting a piece of it was Paul Paletti, but a power play goal for the Virginia Blue Devils, and it's 5-2.
that's the way it ended after 2 periods. Hibbing went in the locker room leading 5-2. In the third period, Virginia came out and got a shorthanded goal early at 1:06. Callister getting it unassisted to pull Virginia within 5-3.
Girardi back into the zone for Rusted. Rusted has it knocked away. Callister picking it up now, coming in on alone. Callister the backhand. A shot, the goal by Callister. Short-handed goal by the Blue Devils. 5-3. A nice play by Mike Callister as he picked up the loose puck, came in from the right, getting behind the hitting defense. Then a beautiful backhand shot by Callister gets by Monticelli. It's 5-3.
But at that point, the Blue Jackets picked it up and got the last 3 goals of the game. At 4:18, John Schwartz picks up his 2nd goal tonight, his 8th of the year. Zabotnik and Steve Terrell assisting.
Monticelli as the puck picks off now. Girardi clears it to left. Going after it, John Rue. Rue picks it up behind the extended goal line. Has checked out a play there. A scramble for it as Brian Mackey comes up with it. Mackey comes out the right side. 5-3. Hitting out in front. But the power play hockey now for the Virginia Blue Devils as Brian Mackey has checked out a play by Steve Terrell. Huseman goes after it for the Blue Jackets. Huseman comes up with it. Plays it ahead now for Terrell, who brings it into center ice, and both teams are full strength. Terrell across, tries to stick to the bench, gets off the shot, a nice saving man, rebound shot, and a goal by John Schwartz on the rebound as he picks up the loose puck about 15 feet right out in front of Paul Mackey just as the Blue Jackets came full strength. And the Jackets are back out in front by 3 at 6-3 at 10:42 remaining.
So 4:18 Schwartz is 8th. Then at 10:22, Tom Pascuzzi picks up his 3rd goal of the year. Steve Terrell and Pat Zabotnik assisting. Pascuzzi at 10:22.
Ball will be picked up by Babaraki over on the right side. He tries to clear it, but not out. Held in. Zabotnik now coming in from the side. His drive is cleared behind. Houston tries to get control. Now Zabotnik has it. There's it out in front. Now from the blue line. Pascuzzi from the blue line. 7-3, the Blue Jackets score. 4:38 remaining. Pascuzzi was fed from behind all the way out to the blue line, put it into Mill, and the Jackets are now ahead by 4.
And then the last goal of the game, a power play goal at 12:02. John Rue, his 17th goal of the year. Steve Terrell picking up his 5th assist of the game. Girardi assisting also. Rue at 12:02.
Up with it now, Girardi. Girardi behind the net, goes over onto the right side, still controlling it, now sets up Terrell to Rue found just an inch opening and got it there. The Blue Jackets score a power play goal. It's 8-3. Rue coming up with the goal for the Blue Jackets at 2:58.
So that completes the scoring for the Blue Jackets. Schwartz picks up his 7th and 8th too tonight. Hardy gets his 1st of the year. Zabotnik is 6th, Doug Terrell is 7th, Girardi is 11th, and Pascuzzi is 3rd, Rue is 17th, and for Virginia, Paletti gets 2 goals, and Callister gets the other one. So 8-3 the final, and we'll take a further look at this game after this timeout for Hardy's. As far as penalties were concerned in this game, Virginia took 4 all-minors for 8 minutes. Hibbing had 6 penalties, all-minors for 12 minutes. Paul Mackey in the Virginia nets, 14 saves, 6 and 8 per period. He had a game total of 28 saves. For Jim Monticelli, 4, 11, and 8. He had a game total of 23 saves. So 23 saves for Monticelli of Hibbing and 28 for Mackey of Virginia. For Virginia, a goal in each period for their 3. For Hibbing, 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third for their 8. As we said, Hibbing now 15-2 and 11-0 in the conference, and they've clinched their 6th consecutive Iron Range Conference hockey title. The Virginia Blue Devils 3-13-1 and 2-9-1 in the conference. And the other scores, B Squad Hibbing beat Virginia 7-3. And high school boys basketball will be tomorrow night. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock with the pregame, and 7:25 play-by-play as Hibbing Community College goes for a clinching of the Community College Hockey Conference title against the Mesaba Norsemen. And that's your Hardy's postgame show for tonight.
The Jackets are the champions of the 1985-86 Iron Range Conference. The Grand Rapids Indians, currently with 18 points in the standings, are going against the Greenway Raiders tonight. That game in Grand Rapids. The Greenway Raiders have a total of 12 points in conference standings right now. With a win over Grand Rapids tonight, that would give them 2 additional, and it would give them 14. But International Falls is tied for 3rd place with the Greenway Raiders. And also with 12 points, they have a big 4-point contest tonight with Chisholm Cook. So a win on the part of the International Falls Broncos would shove them up into sole possession of third place with a total of 16 points. The Grand Rapids Indians, of course, with a win over the Greenway Raiders, would give them 20 points. At this point, though, no one can catch the Hibbing Bluejackets. They have clinched it, but the race is still open for second, third, fourth, and fifth place, as that does, of course, determine the seeding into the Iron Range Conference Hockey Playdown. So the Bluejackets victorious tonight with a final score 8-3, the Jackets over the Virginia Blue Devils. Your announcer tonight have been yours truly, Dick Nordville and John Tim Payne. Our in-studio producers